Let me ask you something real quick. Would you ever turn down $100 million? Now think about that for a second. $100 million. Most folks would take it before you even finish the sentence, right? But Jay-Z, he said no twice, because he knew something most people miss. Ownership is everything. Today I'm going to tell you a story, not just about music, not just about fame, but about hustle, vision, and how a kid from the projects built a billion-dollar empire with nothing but raw talent, smart decisions, and relentless drive. But hey, before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want daily stories like this one. We drop new episodes every single day at 7 p.m. Stories that'll inspire you, teach you, and maybe even push you to chase that next level. All right, let's rewind and start from the beginning. Shawn Carter. You know him as Jay-Z. Was born on December 1999 in Brooklyn, New York, right in the heart of the Marcy Projects. Now, the Marcy Projects weren't the kind of place you stroll through with headphones and dreams. Nah, it was tough. It was dangerous. It was survival, day in and day out. His father walked out when he was just 11. His mother, Gloria Carter, raised him and his 3 siblings on her own. Jay found an escape, not in school, not in sports, but in rhymes. He'd bang on the kitchen table, write lyrics in notebooks, and freestyle on street corners. He even earned the nickname Jazzy as a teen, which later became Jay-Z in homage to his mentor, Jazzo. But music wasn't his first hustle. Before he ever held a mic in a studio, Jay-Z was knee-deep in the crack cocaine epidemic of the 80s. Yeah, he sold drugs. Not something he's ever hidden, but it's part of the story, part of the pain, the hustle, and the grit that would eventually build his empire. Now get this, even with undeniable talent, Jay-Z couldn't land a record deal. Every major label said no. They thought he was too old, too street, not marketable. Can you imagine that? One of the greatest rappers of all time being told, nah, you don't fit. But here's where Jay's story starts to separate from the rest. Instead of giving up, he said, I'll do it myself. So in 1995, Jay-Z teamed up with his friends, Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs, Burke, to create their own label, Rockefeller Records. Talk about betting on yourself. They took their own money, some of it from street hustling, and put it into producing Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z's debut album. That record, it dropped in '96 and is now considered one of the greatest rap albums ever made. But at the time, it didn't blow up. He wasn't an overnight success. He had to grind. Album after album, tour after tour, building his name brick by brick. Fast forward to 2001, Jay-Z drops The Blueprint. Critics loved it. Fans loved it. It was soulful, raw, honest. And here's the wild part. It dropped on September 11, 2001. Despite the tragedy of that day, the album sold over 420,000 copies in its first week. That's when everything changed. Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper anymore. He became a voice of a generation, a businessman disguised as a rapper. Around this time, he started thinking way beyond music. In 2003, Jay-Z shocked the industry by announcing his retirement. Yeah, he really tried to retire at 33, but what he really did was transition. He became president of Def Jam, negotiated deals, and launched artists like Rihanna and Kanye West. That's where his biggest moves began. So let's talk money. Jay-Z's portfolio is so stacked it makes Fortune 500 execs jealous. Let me break down the pillars of his billion-dollar empire. On Roc Nation. In 2008, Jay founded Roc Nation, a full-service entertainment company. Music, sports, management, you name it. It reps J. Cole, Rihanna, Meek Mill, and even pro athletes like Kevin De Bruyne. This wasn't just a label, it was an empire builder. Do Tidal. Remember when I told you Jay-Z turned down $100 million? In 2015, he bought the struggling music streaming platform Tidal for $56 million. Everyone laughed. But then he brought on artists like Beyoncé, Kanye, Rihanna, and Daft Punk as co-owners. Tidal became the first artist-owned streaming platform. In 2021, he sold a majority stake to Jack Dorsey's Square for $297 million. He flipped a risky move into a 400% return. 3. Armand de Brignac, Ace of Spades. Jay didn't just rap about champagne and he bought it. He acquired the luxury brand Ace of Spades, and in 2021 sold 50% to LVMH, the luxury giant behind Louis Vuitton and Moet. The estimated value? Over $600 million. 4. Douce Cognac. Partnered with Bacardi, Jay's Douce brand quickly became a cultural icon. In 2023, he sold most of his stake in the company for nearly $750 million. 5. Real estate, art, and investments. Jay owns multiple properties from NYC to Bel Air with Beyoncé. He's invested in Uber, JetSmarter, SpaceX, Savage X, Fenty, and countless startups. The result? In 2019, Jay-Z became hip-hop's first billionaire. Let that sink in. From street corners to stock portfolios, that's power. But the road hasn't been all wins. Jay-Z has faced criticism and controversy, especially around his deal with the NFL in 2019. Some said he sold out for partnering with the league during the Colin Kaepernick protests. Jay's response? I'm not kneeling anymore. I'm past that. What are we going to do now? He believed working inside the system would do more than protesting outside it. Controversial? Absolutely. But consistent with his evolution, from activist rapper to boardroom strategist. Then there's the public drama, his rocky moments with Dame Dash, the infamous elevator fight with Solange, and yes, the cheating rumors addressed on Lemonade. But through it all, he owned it, faced it, grew from it. Jay-Z didn't just give us bangers, he gave us blueprints. Here are a few takeaways we can all learn from his journey. 1. Bet on yourself when no one else will. Jay couldn't get a record deal, so he made his own label. If you believe in your vision, build it yourself. 2. Ownership over everything. Jay doesn't just promote brands, he owns them. That's the difference between being paid once and being paid forever. 3. Hustle smart, not just hard. Jay-Z wasn't the loudest, fastest, or flashiest, but he made smart moves. Strategic plays, silent growth. That's long-term thinking. 4. Keep evolving. He went from rapper to executive to investor to mogul. Don't box yourself in. Your first job doesn't define your final destination. 5. Turn pain into power. From absent fatherhood to selling drugs, from betrayals to heartbreak. Jay took all that and turned it into art and wealth. You know what's wild? Jay-Z once said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. It sounded clever, but now, it's proven fact. He didn't just make it out, he took the whole game with him. Changed how artists think, changed how we see wealth, changed what's possible when you mix hustle, heart, and brains. And if he can do it, from the Marcy Projects, with no connections, no handouts, no roadmap, what's your excuse? All right, fam, that's it for today's episode. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, we drop new business storytelling podcasts every single day at 7 p.m. And before you go, let me ask you, which Jay-Z move impressed you the most and why? Comment down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.